Now that 2022 is in the rearview mirror, it's time to really get serious about our retirement and the income planning that we're going to need to have that comfortable, secure retirement. So we got some retirement tips for 2023 and beyond on today's show. So stay with us.
And now, the Wealth Training Academy.
You can have wonderful documents, but if they don't work for the assets you have and the income stream that you need, it's a waste of your time and it's a waste of your money.
Asset protection, tax reduction, holistic planning.
You got to make sure that the team's working together, because if the team's not working together, somebody's going to screw up.
Retirement doesn't have to be complicated.
There's so many people selling product. Don't buy product until you have a plan.
And now, the Wealth Training Academy with Ed Storer.
Shielding, protecting, growing your business and your wealth. It is the Wealth Training Academy with Ed Storer. He's the wealth coach and a great team. If you want to think of them as assistant coaches, but they're all on the field managing and coaching your retirement for you, and expertise in all areas like taxes, investments, insurance, estate planning. They all come together as your retirement plan. I'm consumer advocate Dave Perkins. Greetings again to Coach Ed Storer.
Hello. Hope everybody's doing well today.
Wonderful. It's a new year. You know, it's still fresh new year. Feeling good about it. Kind of resolution.
If we can get over all this rain, it'll be even better.
Yeah. You know, I know we've got our challenges without a doubt, but I'm trying to be optimistic. And you know, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people make resolutions. You've got some things to consider that maybe we should try to keep these. This is one of mine. And it's actually made resolution top 10 list this year, and that's boosting savings.
I think that kind of goes without saying, but if you don't say it, therefore you can't hold anybody accountable for it, right? Isn't that the old saying?
I think so.
Yeah. So here's the thing. We all have to put more money in our IRAs and our 401k plans than ever before to have a wealthy set of assets for ourselves down the road. And, you know, I'm hearing people say, well, the market's down. I don't want to put any more money into the stock market. The saying is buy low, sell high. Mm-hmm. So if you're the one who is still dollar cost averaging, you're still putting money away for retirement. If you're not 5 years out from retirement, then you should be dollar cost averaging and putting those monies into IRAs and 401ks and taking advantage of those. Basically, pad your savings. Okay. You pad that bank account, you pad that savings account, start padding your retirement account, because all it's going to do is truly benefit you when it comes to Social Security and the benefits that Social Security will have, because you'll be able to make so many more changes. So in the year 2023, you're allowed to make a contribution of $6,500 into an IRA. And if you're 50 and older, you're allowed $7,500 into an IRA. A 401k allows you to put $22,500. And again, if you're 50 and older, it is now up to $30,000 that you can put away into a 401k. So these things are extremely beneficial for us to, again, as we're saying, pad and boost and increase those savings rates. And again, now's the time to take advantage of dollar cost averaging into your retirement accounts and take advantage of when the market's down, because again, you're supposed to be buying low and selling high. So that's tip number one for 2023. Put more money in savings, because you want to have a conversation. Look, you're sitting down, you're having a conversation with yourself, and the conversation you're having 20 years from now, or even 10 years from now, you're having a conversation with the person ahead of you, and you go, hey, person ahead of me, who is you? Should I have saved more? And that person's going to grab you by the neck collar, poke you in the eyeball, and hit you upside the head and say, yes, because you should have saved more, because we don't have enough now.
Right.
But it could be the different conversation of, you know, thank you so much for putting money away for us, because now we have a great retirement. We're taking Social Security tax efficiently. We're going on vacation. We're spending more time with the grandkids, all because you decided to muster up the ability and stop going out to eat so much and put money away for retirement.
That's it.
Do I sound like a broken record? I sound like a broken record.
Well, I mean, it's almost like you can't say it enough. It's like it's like we all need to be reminded. I certainly have to remind myself. And I think another thing too, that and I'm in the financial red zone, so I can relate to this, is how do we look at our investments when we're near retirement? Should we look at it differently?
Yeah. Well, again, we need to understand, especially now in this market, okay, we've had issues in this market where people are worried, they're scared, they're upset, and I understand that. I mean, the market's been extremely volatile, and it can be nerve-wracking, if you would. It can be just nerve-wracking. And so here's the crazy thing, though. We'll see, and we sat down with this couple just last week, and we were shocked and amazed that they had so much money in their 401k just sitting in cash. And we were talking about the idea of just inflation alone and how inflation is affecting you when you get into your 60s versus inflation really affecting you when you're younger. And you're going, what? That doesn't make any sense. It does when you really look at it, because inflation when you're older hurts you more than it is when you're younger, because you have plenty of time to catch up. And that's where the actual catch up philosophy ever came from. Is that scenario. It's not so much the market goes down, and because it will, market goes up and goes down no matter what time you're up. But inflation at when you're an older age really affects us, because healthcare issues go up, expenses for food goes up. You know, it's always the thing. But when you're younger, you're still aggressive. You're still living on ramen noodles. You know, when you're in your 50s and you're still trying to raise the kids, put them through college. Inflation's a whole lot different. I mean, it affects you differently. And so we need to understand that sitting and leaving money in cash in a 401k is crazy, because that's the place that we should be doing dollar cost averaging, and we should be looking at things. And we were pointing that out to this couple, and we even suggested that, look, if you're going to leave those in cash, at least turn around and do another dollar cost averaging again with inside the 401k back into investments. And or at least there's a guaranteed savings portion usually with inside the 401k that you can do that. And here's the thing. Here's something I'm going to do. Okay. Now I'm going to let you know we only have 3 spots for this week. And we normally give out our gap analysis. And our gap analysis is something that we do for those who have an opportunity to get on the telephone and give us a call. In our gap analysis, we evaluate your taxes, your investments, your insurance, and your estate planning. We look at the whole thing. And we go, okay, what are the gaps that you're missing, the things that you should be taking advantage of? And this is how we were able to help that couple, by the way, is they took advantage of the gap analysis that I offered at the Social Security classes that we teach. And they came in, we went over and we found this gap in their 401k. I'm going to offer our gap analysis for the next 3 people, okay, because that's what we're able to do. If you have $500,000 or more designed for retirement, it's in your 401k or your IRAs, and you are 55 and older, we will do our gap analysis for free. Okay, this is something that we normally charge $2,500 for. This is not a one little thing, simple, we're going to figure out. We will evaluate everything that's going on inside your world of wealth, your taxes, your investments, your insurance, estate planning. I've got 3 openings. So be one of the 3. Give us a call. We will look at your 401k. We'll evaluate what's going on inside the 401k. We'll tell you what's going on in the gaps. Now, here's the thing. You don't have to move your 401k. Odds are you probably can't move your 401k. So what other person is trying to help you figure out your 401k without trying to sell your product? See, we work for you, not for product selling. That's the little bit of difference. You might start to catch that if you've ever listened to me longer than just today. We're fiduciaries. We work for you. We don't work for selling the product, okay? My team of investment folks work for you. But you have to take advantage of us and get this gap analysis. So be one of the 3. Give us a call now. The team's standing by. And if you have to, leave a message.
Yeah, please do. Or you can text. If you do that, it's hashtag WTA. The number, though, is 800-563-7030, 800-563-7030. By the way, Ed, you mentioned the Social Security workshops. These are not just workshops. These are events, and a meal is included in it. It's Savvy Social Security, and there's another one coming up very soon, January 19th, Stella's Southern Bistro in Simpsonville. If you want to sign up for that, if you're over 60 and want to get your Social Security questions answered, just visit the website wealthtrainingacademy.com and click upcoming events, because there's a lot of great information at these.
Yeah, and here's one of the things I do want to talk about is the idea of our classes that we're having. These things fill up fast. So if you call, if you go to our website and you say, hey, I want to be part of the Social Security class, put me down, and we put you on a waiting list, we will call you for the next one. So don't give up on the idea that you couldn't make it to the Social Security class, again, because they fill up fast. Get on our waiting list, because what I've done in the past is I will do another class without announcing it, because I'll have 20 to 30 people on a waiting list that wants to come to the Social Security class that we're doing, and then I'll just put on another class and invite you into that. Okay. And because part of getting ready for 2023 is really do a Social Security checkup. That's why we're doing these, and Social Security is really on the table right now. It's actually one of the most important things that we have to look at and take a look at in 2023, which is why we are saying take advantage of this Social Security checkup and look at this. This is extremely important, something that we need to take advantage of. And so Social Security can actually be one of the largest accounts that you have. So you can't take it lightly. You would never leave an IRA hanging around that's worth $1 million and not pay attention to it. Hopefully you're not doing the same thing with Social Security, because there's over 100 different ways to file, and they're changing all the time. And the Secure Act changed everything that happened with your taxes and the taxation of Social Security, and new opportunities with inside putting money in 401ks and the benefits. So you come, and we're going to be talking about all that.
Absolutely. You'll be talking about it there, and Ed can talk to you and the team one-on-one, or a great team on one with you about your retirement if you schedule the gap analysis. 800-563-7030, 800-563-7030. Well, a quick break, but more to come. Ed, what's up next?
Well, again, we're staying with the idea of retirement, and when it comes to retirement, it's very important for us to really focus in on the idea of our ladies. It's important, ladies, that you understand retirement. And so the next segment, I'm really going to focus in on the idea of ladies and what we need to focus on in retirement when we come back.
When should I take my Social Security? How much risk can I tolerate? I'm afraid I'm overpaying in taxes. Did I save enough? I can't keep up with all these rules.
There are a lot of components to your retirement, and it certainly can seem overwhelming. It's time to establish a partnership with a professional who can provide you with a written plan, the proper strategies, and then be there with you along the way. That's Ed Storer at the Wealth Training Academy. 800-563-7030, 800-563-7030. We are back with the Wealth Training Academy and Ed Storer. Think of him as the wealth coach, and a team of coaches getting behind your retirement. I want to mention again, it's coming up this Thursday, actually, January 19th, Savvy Social Security. And that's going to be at Stella's Southern Bistro in Simpsonville. You are invited, but the best thing to do is go ahead and check the website, wealthtrainingacademy.com, because as Ed said, they fill up quickly. Now, he's been known to add more on as they fill up. He doesn't want to leave anyone out. But as it stands right now, the next one is this Thursday, January 19th, Savvy Social Security at Stella's Southern Bistro. And you can get signed up at wealthtrainingacademy.com. Click upcoming events. Ed, we're going to talk about how retirement can be more challenging for women. And I think much of this, Ed, comes down to the fact that women live longer.
And that is it. It's statistically proven that, ladies, you will outlive your husband. Okay. That's just the way it is.
It is.
Sorry. It just statistics. You can't fight those statistics. We wish we could, but
if you don't believe it, go to any assisted living community.
Absolutely. Now,
It's all
the
women.
other crazy thing. Here's the other crazy thing. There's a joke why men die before women, but I'm leaving that one completely alone
Okay.
too.
Okay, probably wise.
Yeah, I want to go home and sleep
I
tonight very
understand.
comfortably and safe because I am
get
a
it.
married man myself, and I have 2 daughters. So, with that being said, seriously, this more than really, this is a personal thing for me. Is that because I'm married and because I have 2 daughters, planning for ladies is, well, to be quite honest, just a passion of mine. I like it. I like doing it. I love working with married couples, and I like working with widows, simply because based on the age. Okay, based on the age, the baby boomer, the older baby boomer, statistically, is needs more help and care planning for their life than the what we call the latchkey, Generation X. Because here's why: you live longer, okay, and the Social Security. And I'm going to be kind of bouncing around a little bit all over this today, but the Social Security stats are that you're going to statistically, you ready for this? Outlive your husband 15 years. More than anything else. And 98% of all widow benefits that are paid out are to women.
Yeah.
It is. Now, with the longevity part of that out of the way, here comes the problem. You're living longer, but you're not living healthier. Okay? You're not living healthier. Statistically, you're going to need more money for healthcare and for long-term care insurance than your husband, because you're living longer. 2, has anybody looked at cheese and eggs?
I am.
Okay, because I got news for you. They might be saying, "Oh, it's 8, 9, 10% inflation." I think they're up in the numbers. I'm telling you, have you looked at eggs?
It's higher
And-
with eggs.
Yeah, I got news. They have doubled. Okay, I went to go buy corn today, and it was 6 packs.
Well,
I
they
can't
let
even
you do
say
that
$6. I guess you could buy a duck, but it was $6 for just 4 or 5 ears of corn. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to name this. I'm not going to name the store that I went to. Okay, I'm not going to do that. And I would
doesn't
love for
matter.
you
It's
all-
everywhere.
Yeah, I would love for you guys to hop on the web and tell me where I can go shop cheaper. Thank you very much. Please let me know. But inflation, okay, is one of the reasons that ladies have to plan more for their health care and for the longevity of the money. You're going to be living statistically to your 95. That's the numbers. Okay. There's other reports out there and everything else, but I've been doing this 32 years, and I'm telling you, I've retired a lot of folks, and I've been with a lot of people, and 95 is the average now for where people are at, especially ladies. Okay. So you need to understand that the cost of healthcare is 50% more expensive for a woman who's 70 years old than the same aged male,
Because she's going to live longer.
because she's going to live longer. You're here. I mean, that is just insurance costs. So, and again, it's startling. Is it fair? No. Am I saying that it's right? No. But here's the problem. It just is.
All right.
We can argue all day long whether it's right or it's wrong. It just is.
It is.
Okay. So being it is, then you need a plan for this. I mean, this is something you need to ladies, you need to seriously take your husband by the hair. If he has no hair, grab him by his ear and go, I want to sit down and do a gap analysis, and they're going to do it for free.
Just
because I
like you
listened
make
to
him
on
go to the
table.
doctor. Just like you make him
Exactly.
go to the doctor.
Just like my wife did. What's that note? What's that mark on your nose? It's nothing. Go to the daggum dermatologist.
Right.
Okay, I will. So grab him by the ear and say, call this number that Dave's about to give you, because he's only got 3 spots, and he's going to look at our taxes, our investments, our insurance, and our estate planning, because it all comes together in the world of distribution. And that's where you're at, is in the world of distribution. See, when you were working, you had a team. Now that you're in the world distribution or you're about to go into retirement, that's the world distribution. You need to have a team. Everyone needs to be working for you. And ladies, you need this more than actually men do. So grab him by the ear and say, go talk to these people because you love me and you care about me. Call this number.
Yeah, the great thing is you can go together. You should go together. 800.
Absolutely, you need to go together.
Yeah. 800-563-7030. 800-563-7030. We're talking about challenges that women face. Now, dig in, if you would, a little deeper in the Social Security challenges.
Yeah, I will. Here's the challenge with Social Security for ladies. Ladies, you went to work, and then you stepped out of work to raise your children and your husband. And then you went back to work.
Right.
Do you think they got your numbers correct on your Social Security amount? The answer is no. And we've seen this more and more time and time again. Okay. And so much so that it's affecting the Social Security amount that ladies are receiving. And it can actually be somewhere in the neighborhood of the statistics that we saw is about 15% less. So we need to make sure that our numbers are correct on our Social Security amount and benefits. Now, ladies, more than men, again, because you stepped out of the work world and you're stepping back in, and you might have missed maybe 4 or 5 years worth of working world, because remember, it's the average 35 years of earnings that are very important on Social Security. And again, that's why we're doing the classes. We're teaching all this stuff in classes. We're going to show you exactly how this affects you. So that can turn around and mess up the spousal benefit. That can mess up the spousal benefit for the part where your spouse can file on yours. That could also mess up the idea of your disability portion of the Social Security if you're going to be getting disability. This can mess up all kinds of things. So you need to make sure the Social Security amount that you got are accurate and so forth, especially with your contributions of being changed in the year of 2023. You need to run these numbers. And COLA magnifies the amount that you're going to be receiving also. So the less experienced investment advisors and accountants, now I'm not saying they're bad people, please understand. But if you're out there selling product versus out there doing a planning, okay, then there's a whole different world. When you get into the world of distribution, you start looking at Social Security and you start understanding the new rules and regulations and how it's taxes and how it's affecting your taxation and how you are going to be affecting your investments. We just talked about a couple that I just said that they left a whole bunch of money sitting around in the 401ks and cash. All this comes together. I mean, all this is affected. And it's not that the people that you had aren't good people. It's just you may have outgrown them. That's it. Mm-hmm. It's, I promise you, I can only speak for me. I promise you, I'm not wearing the same pants I wore 10 years ago. Okay. I promise you, I'm not wearing the same shirt I wore 10 years ago. I promise you, I'm not eating the way I was 10 years ago. Well, maybe I am, but don't tell my wife.
Right. So, you're sneak eating.
I'm sneak eating. No, I would never do that. But because she's around me. But the thing is, we outgrow where we were. You're not thinking the same way. You're not doing the same thing. You're not taking the same medications. Hopefully you're better, healthier. Okay, you're not earning the same amount. So the likelihood that the team is coming together to manage the investments and the tax person's working with you, that whole world's changed. The other thing is, when it comes for this, ladies more than men, okay, is the likelihood that you'll be actually taking care of an elderly parent more than your spouse will. Okay. Those are the odds, because here's the crazy thing. Remember, we just talked about that my spouse will probably pass away before I will. Statistically, you'll have to take care of the kids and your elderly parents. So you might have to step out of work again. Statistically, that's usually what happens. So the earnings that you're going to get off of Social Security or the earnings that you're going to put away in retirement are totally different. That's why it's so important that a married couple come in and we talk about these things. These are the gaps that we talk about. These are the things that we go, what's the purpose of this? What are you trying to do? You're trying to self-insure. How do we cut the hidden fees, commissions, and taxes? You guys know that we are on a $30 million quest to cut taxes and hidden fees over the next 10 years. Ladies, take advantage of this. If you're widowed or you're single, definitely give us a call, okay? I got 3 spots, $500,000 or more for retirement. And if you're 5 to 10 years away from retirement, we'll do it for free. We normally charge $2,500, but call. And for the sake of goodness, come into our Social Security class. And if you don't get somebody live, leave a message, please. We're out to help. Take advantage of this.
Yeah, perfect example of the need for the gap analysis. You can schedule with a call to 800-563-7030. You can also text that number. If you text, just enter text hashtag WTA, 800-563-7030. It's 800-563-7030. And it is the strategies. And if you're dealing with couples, it's strategies based on the now and based on the later in retirement. 800-563-7030. It is the Wealth Training Academy, and more to come. What is up next, Ed?
Well, they do say that money cannot buy you happiness. And that may be true, and I'm not disagreeing with that. But it is surely a whole lot different feeling pulling up in a Rolls Royce to pay your power bill than it is a little Volkswagen buggy. Okay? Happiness cannot buy you, money cannot buy you happiness, but it sure can make a huge difference in retirement. So we're going to be talking about doing planning and in-depth more when we come back.
And now a nightmare retirement consultation. Yeah, no pain, no gain, right? No risk, no reward, right? We're going all risk, see? We're going to put everything you got in the market. You're going to love it. Don't walk, run from that office and go to your future retirement partner with your best interest in mind and with a plan that's customized for your risk tolerance and that can help increase your financial confidence in retirement. That's Ed Storr at the Wealth Training Academy. 800-563-7030. 800-563-7030. Back with the Wealth Training Academy and Ed Storr, wealth coach at this firm, a great fiduciary team working with Ed and with you on your retirement. What comes with retirement? A lot of moving parts. And what they do at first is identify the gaps, as Ed talks about on the show every week, and then get to work and implementing the right components. And this team has expertise in tax, investments, insurance, estate planning. It's all there under one roof, too. They take the show on the road, too, with information like the next Savvy Social Security workshop. It's this Thursday, January 19th at Stella's Southern Bistro. If you want to get in on this, check the availability at the website wealthtrainingacademy.com. Click upcoming events. Yeah, Ed, you're right. I mean, they say money can't buy happiness, but it sure can help buy peace of mind. That I know that much. We're kind of talking about that here. And I guess we're going to even veer away from money a little bit in this segment and having a happy and content retirement. I guess the first thing you need to do, and this is what you talk to your clients about, is what are your goals? And that includes, how do you see your retirement? How do you want it to be?
The saying is that if you do not have a vision, the people will perish. That's a Proverbs, and I don't know which one that is, but basically is if you don't have a goal, then you don't know if you've made it. Mm-hmm. And so if you don't have retirement goals, look, everyone you sit down with will say things like, you need to have X amount of money in order to retire. And that X amount of money will take you to and through retirement. And that's fine and dandy and all. But I've been doing this 32 years. And I promise you that when I say, if you have a lot of money and you don't have any goals for that, you will not be happy. It just doesn't matter. Because you're flopping around, you don't know what you want to do with yourself. That's why when we retire folks, especially the small business owners who sell their business and then they don't have a life goal or a plan beyond that, within a year to 2 years, they're back doing the same kind of business or doing something else or starting another business. It just happens. We've seen this statistically over and over and over again, that just because you have a whole lot of money doesn't make you happy. So figuring out the purpose of your money, what is it that you want to do? What is the mission behind the idea of retiring? We talk about the word retirement like it's a brand new thing. It's not. Maybe you don't even want to retire. Maybe you just want to retire from what you're doing now because it drives you nuts, or you can't stand the management, or you wish you had started a job or a career doing something else. Or maybe you just say, I really love what I'm doing, but I want to slow down. So you semi-retire or part-time retire. And unless you have those things written down, then you're never going to actually feel the accomplishment. Look, you remember the day that you wrote down, go buy groceries, fix the screen porch, wash the dishes, wash the dog, whatever it is, beat up the cat. I don't know, wherever it is. And you wrote that list down and you checked it off. Remember how good that felt when you remember? I mean, just close your eyes unless you're driving. Don't close your eyes if you're driving. But just think about this for a second. You check that off. Wasn't that a good feeling?
To this day, I'm more productive if I do that.
Yeah. So you have a list. You're like, I made it. Or then you go to sleep at night saying, I had a very productive day.
It's a good feeling.
I got it done. Yeah, it's a great feeling. And that's the same thing that you will feel when you have set goals. See, our Wealth Shield system that we have designs and builds all this for you. We look at your taxes, your investments, your insurance, your estate planning, the purpose of the money, why you're leaving the money here, what's it doing in cash, what can we do here? Do you want to earn some more money so you can give it to the church? Do you want to earn some more money so you can help out your grandkids? Do you want to earn some more money because there's some kind of thing that you want to do? I don't know. Maybe you want to buy a new pickleball racket, or paddle, not racket. It's whatever you want to do. So setting these goals will make you feel good. Why? Because it gives you something to go for. It gives you a vision. See, without a vision, you will perish. And so first and foremost, when it comes to goal setting, is to set numbers, not so much of how much is it that we want to have. It's what is it that we want to achieve? And then do we have the dollars in order to achieve that? It's a totally different way of thinking. And again, that's something that we do over here through our gap analysis. And that's just part of a gap analysis. The next thing that you have to take into consideration to make life better for you is, once you got the goals kind of figured out, is set healthcare priorities. I know this is going to sound crazy, but unless you're healthy, then all that doesn't matter. So you need to make sure that you have proper insurance in place. And women and men on the insurance costs, we just talked about this, but I don't know if you've noticed lately, healthcare is expensive. Okay. And we're living longer, remember? So all that cost is more to you. So you need to make sure that you evaluate all your healthcare expenses. We have a team that's just totally dedicated here at the Wealth Training Academy to healthcare issues. Whether you're working, we have a team to evaluate your healthcare insurance, or if you're turning 65 and you're getting on Medicare, we have a team member who handles all the Medicare. We also have a team member who can look at all the long-term care insurance that you have and evaluate your life insurance. All these things need to be evaluated, because we're seeing people now who have bought these annuity policies that have an annuity rider on them for long-term care needs. Maybe it doesn't meet your financial needs anymore. Maybe you've outgrown it. Maybe a spouse passed away and you bought that annuity 7, 8, 10 years ago and it had a healthcare rider on it for that. Maybe the healthcare long-term care insurance that you have this long-term care insurance policy, and it really should have been a life insurance long-term care combination policy, which they have now. They didn't have 10, 15 years ago. Or we've even seen now where people have bought these life insurance policies and these healthcare insurance policies and these long-term care policies, and right at the magic age of 75 to 80, there's that little window that all of a sudden the premiums double. Now, unless your insurance agent's coming out and saying, hey, we're going to increase the premiums on you at age 75 to 80, I hope you're okay with that. I've yet to see the insurance agent that sets down and do that. Now, if you're an insurance agent, you're listening to me, I'm probably going to get some bad news, or you're going to send some bad comments, but that's okay. Maybe you should be taking care of your clients better. But Our team will evaluate the whole thing for you. We will give you everything you need to know through our gap analysis. And we'll do it because they're fiduciaries. See, they'll evaluate the whole thing for you, and they'll tell you exactly what's going on. They'll tell you, hey, this is a great policy, or here's the information now that you need to make an informed decision on whether you need to change anything. So the first part of this is set goals. Second part of this is make sure your healthcare is set up correctly, and we do that through the gap analysis. Remember, taxes, investments, insurance, estate planning, evaluate the whole thing. We normally charge $2,500. We're doing this for 3 folks. So if you call, you have $500,000 or more, you're 55 and above, we will do the evaluation for free. So give us a call.
800-563-7030, 800-563-7030. Now, I was handed from our crack research staff here that where there is no vision, the people perish is Proverbs 29:18. But, you know, if that's wrong, it's in Proverbs. But anyway, Ed said it. And it's important to have a vision. And in looking at this, even to have a vision for your family, too. Those you may leave behind. And estate planning is part of that process with your team, Ed.
It is. It is. You must take care of the family in order, again, not to be a burden and to create relaxation. I mean, again, that's that checklist. Check, my estate planning's done. Has anyone ever heard of this little thing called COVID? Okay. It has changed the world. It also changed estate planning because we're seeing some old healthcare powers as well as financial powers of attorney that haven't been signed off on or reevaluated or looked at by the attorneys that wrote those up and so forth. And the firms aren't accepting them because COVID changed everything. They're like, no, we don't know if that's new. We don't know if that's honored. The financial institutions are going, look, you haven't looked at that. It's been 2 years. We need to have those updated. One of the things that we'll do is we'll evaluate your estate planning. Okay. Bring in your wills, bring in your powers of attorney, bring in your trusts, and we'll look at them. You need to have a will. It's called South Carolina. They'll do what they will, okay? So you got one. But in order to not be a burden to the family because you passed away prematurely and you didn't take care of that, now they've got to scramble around and figure all this out. You don't have to do that, okay? It's very simple. You need to look at all your beneficiaries. Are they all updated? Are they all updated? Mm-hmm. You had to make sure all the insurance policies are updated. You need to make sure everything needs to be looked at. In my opinion, no one, hear me, no one should be going through probate, period. End of conversation. Mm-hmm. Done. And it can be done just through the power of the pen can solve that problem. And it's not expensive. Everybody's like, oh my gosh, it's expensive to do this stuff. No, it's not. No, it's not. And if your powers of attorney and wills and so forth are old, well, you just probably need to dust them off and have somebody evaluate them and just check box it and off you go. We do this every 2 to 3 years over here. If you're one of our wealth members, we're looking at those every 2 to 3 years, and we're making sure our estate planning team is evaluating, checking them off, and make sure we have classes from time to time. That's why it's very important for you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and so forth, or check out our webpage for upcoming events, because we put on many, many different classes that we'll invite you to. Some are open to the public, some are not open to the public. So estate planning is extremely important. I have Ken on the show here from time to time. He's our head estate planning attorney. His joke is he deals in endings, divorce, and death.
Sure.
But that's it. That's his stuff. He takes care of the I guess the double D's, death and divorce, right? And I guess that's the way it works. So long story short, our gap analysis will help you find the purpose of where you want to be, how you want to get there, and the relaxation knowing it's been taken care of. That's it. Give us a call.
It's a big thing. That's what it's about here. Happiness, peace of mind in your retirement. 800-563-7030. You can call or text. If you text, just text hashtag WTA. 800-563-7030. What's next, Ed?
Another week, another round of questions from our listeners. We'll answer those when we come right back.
You drive through this to get to this. And you really want to be here. And there's someone who can get you to your destination, retirement where you want to be, instead of here or here. And that someone is Ed Storr at the Wealth Training Academy. 800-563-7030. 800-563-7030. It's the Wealth Training Academy, and we're back into the conversation. Ed Storr, you know, we talk about the team too, along with Wealth Coach Ed, working with you on your retirement. It's expertise in taxes, investments, insurance. We just talked about estate planning. Yeah. It's all there under the same office. Get your questions answered. Talk to the team. Do the gap analysis. Get them behind your retirement. Information. And here's information and great food coming together. Savvy Social Security this Thursday, January 19th. It's at Stella's Southern Bistro in Simpsonville. You can get signed up and check availability because these do fill up quickly. And Ed, many times he'll add on to this if it fills up quickly. But check at wealthtrainingacademy.com. Click upcoming events. Also at wealthtrainingacademy.com, any tab you click on gives you the ability to submit a question for Ed to answer on the air. And that's how we're closing the show out. From Duncan, we have a question. I'm 65, not yet retired. I'm considering purchasing an immediate annuity using all the funds in my 403B plan upon retirement. Would the annuity distribution satisfy required minimum distributions? How will placing the entire amount in an annuity be taxed? And how will the monthly payments be taxed? Getting a lot in there.
Hey, only one question.
Yeah, they snuck a couple more in.
Yeah, they did. Okay. All right. First and foremost, let me explain something if I can. You're going to purchase an immediate annuity, which means you're going to have funds pay you out for a period certain from a 403B plan, which I'm willing to bet a steak dinner on it that your 403B plan is already an annuity. So,
right.
Here's the interesting question I have for you. Why would anybody who's offering this annuity to you not have told you that your 403B plan is already an annuity? Interesting question. So that's my question back to you on that one is, so call us. We'll tell you what's really going on and whether or not you should get one annuity versus another annuity.
Right.
That's really what you're asking here. Okay. So the next thing is, would the annuity distributions satisfy required minimum distribution? The answer to that is potentially, because I don't know the amount of what the annuity would be. I don't know the distribution amount that you're going to be taking. And therefore, I don't know what other accounts that you have outside of that annuity that you need to add to that to potentially satisfy the required minimum distributions for all. So again, one more time, we need to sit down and do an evaluation on figuring out where all of your retirement accounts are at, all the amounts, and would it satisfy all the required minimum distributions for the whole amount. So there's a lot of moving parts there. Okay. So that's the answer to that question. How will placing the entire amount in annuity be taxed? Well, if it was in a 403B plan, that means it was pre-tax. Whether or not that 403B was a Roth or not, I can't answer that question. Odds are it was not, because 403Bs just changed over, a whole different world. We'll talk about that potential. Hey, Dave, let's talk about that next week. Okay. Let's put that on let's talk about those things next week. But here's the interesting thing. It's going to be taxed at your highest tax bracket because it has never been taxed before usually. Right. And when you take it out, it's going to increase your taxation of your Social Security because you're age 65. And odds are that you've not been to one of my classes where we teach how to take Social Security on a tax-free basis or almost tax-free basis. So odds are it's going to be taxing your Social Security. It could potentially increase the amount that you're paying on your Medicare tax your Medicare insurance, because your Medicare insurance is based on the income that you're making. So again, I don't know your income, so that's got to be looked at and calculated. And how will the monthly payments be taxed? Again, that's the same question going back to, will the entire amount be taxed? So this is a perfect person who needs to give us a call and take advantage of our gap analysis, and take advantage of it now before you start making all these moves, because you're going to need to sit down with a CPA or enrolled agent, hopefully an enrolled agent, because they do tax planning. You also need to make sure your insurance person is working with your tax person, and you need to make sure your investment person is working with your tax person, and your investment person, and your insurance person. And oh, by the way, all these are annuities. That means they're insurance products. That means they have their own estate planning connection with beneficiaries. So you need to make sure your estate planning is all set up correctly. Wow.
Well, it's all covered there.
Yeah.
You got it covered.
There's a whole lot going on.
Right there under one roof.
There you go. And by the way, I couldn't have answered that question correctly if I didn't have the capability in the team here in my back pocket to be able to help you out. So give us a call.
And good thing they said considering purchasing an immediate annuity, because they can talk to you about it before they do.
Yes. So consider giving us a call to fix this for
strongly.
you.
And that would be 800-563-7030. 800-563-7030. As Ed says, they have the lofty and valiant goal of saving folks right here in this area $30 million in taxes and hidden fees over 10 years. Greenville is next. I will turn 64 this year, and I have $819,000 in an IRA account. I have $120,000 in cash in a bank account. I have rental property. I earn $900 every month from that. It's got around $100,000 in equity. My home is worth about $395,000. It's got about $150,000 in equity. I'm looking for advice on fixed income investments that will take into consideration our immediate income needs in addition to our long-term growth needs. You know, I kind of like the details there, because it's kind of a good example of how everybody brings their own puzzle pieces to you.
Yeah. And let me answer this question real easy. Call my office.
Right.
Because this is an hour and a half worth of a conversation. Thank you, first and foremost, for all the detail. My goodness. Yay. I know. I kind of goof off and say, please give us more detail. Well, there you go, Ed. I got what I asked for.
You sure did.
So hey, thank you for listening.
And
I really
their
appreciate
age.
it.
And their age.
I mean, yeah, they left. I mean, there you go. So the only thing they didn't say is what they retired from. So
it's true. It's true. They did not.
Yeah. So, but this is a perfect person that needs to give us a call. There's so much here. There's so many different questions. You got that rental property. Is it a Schedule C? Is there an LLC filing as an S corp? I mean, there's so many different things here that need to be looked at and addressed. This is the person that needs to sit down with my team and I and look at everything together for them. So give us a call.
Please, 800-563-7030. But it's great when you come in and meet with them to have all that information handy.
Yeah, we're going to ask for all this information. That's great.
Right, exactly. They are going to, and more. I mean, it's how they learn you, and that's how they can better custom plan with you. Greenville is next. What should I do with required minimum distribution funds after I pay the taxes if I don't need the funds, and I still want them to grow with limited risk?
You want them to grow with limited risk. Give it to your children. No, I'm just kidding.
They'll grow, all right.
It'll grow. And that's right. Grow and go.
I don't know about the limited risk part.
So here's the interesting thing. What do you do with the other funds? Well, it really all depends. You ready for this? It really all depends on your taxes. And what I mean by that is sometimes we are forced to take these required minimum distributions that we really don't want. And it sounds like this is one of those folks that says, I have these required minimum distributions that I don't need, but I want to do something with them. Maybe this is an opportunity while the market's down where you start converting from traditional IRA to Roth. and you take those required minimum distributions that you're going to have to pay and you're going to pay. And then next year you say, okay, I have this money set aside to pay for the conversion of X amount of dollars to tax free, because you're not going to need them. So that can take care of a tax situation, and then it reduces your required minimum distribution for the next year. See? So by doing a Roth conversion, you actually reduce the overall required minimum distribution because it's not required in a Roth IRA. Okay.
There you
so
go.
if you have extra funds left over, use those dollars to pay the taxes for conversion. Or maybe you're a charitable person and you're thinking about the idea of going, hey, I'd like to take some of this required minimum distribution and give it to my church before you take it out of the IRA as required minimum distribution. You cannot touch the money. It has to be given from your IRA directly to the church or charitable organization.
Okay, you get out of it. Don't touch it.
Don't touch it. Don't touch it.
You have a tax situation.
My office.
Yeah.
Call my office and we'll share with you how to do this. Okay. So again, these are a couple of tax tips that require two people, usually your investment person and the tax people sitting down and having a conversation. So yeah, take advantage of our gap analysis and give us a call. We'll help you out. And by the way, if you ever run across a question like this that you really need information on, and you don't have opportunity just to give it to us on the radio, because sometimes we don't air all the questions, make sure to leave your question on our website in that little box on the right-hand side and put your question there and say, hey, I'd like Ed to be able to answer this question for me. And I'll answer them. You know, it may not be on the air, but I'll answer any questions that you have. So make sure to send the questions in.
And that's wealthtrainingacademy.com. And we're short on time, but I know this is a quick answer on this from Simpsonville. Does my employer's matching contribution count towards the maximum that I can contribute to my 401k plan?
No.
I knew that was a short answer.
There you go.
And good news. That's great.
And good news.
Yeah,
that's right.
Absolutely. Well, Ed, this is a great opportunity to sit down with you. Everyone has their own unique concerns. So the best thing to do is call and get on the schedule. It's 3 opportunities at no cost, no obligation this week for the gap analysis. The number 800-563-7030, 800-563-7030. The website, Wealth Training Academy. Hey, click upcoming events there. Scroll down to Savvy Social Security this Thursday, January 19th. Get signed up. Check availability for the event at Stella's Southern Bistro. That's again at wealthtrainingacademy.com. And Ed, great show as always.
We are the Wealth Training Academy. We're here to shield, protect, grow your business and your wealth. Until next week.
The Wealth Training Academy LLC is a marketing and training facility designed to help business owners as well as pre- and post-retirees regain control of their business and personal wealth. Wealth Training Academy also rents the facility out to other organizations and the utilization of its materials. Wealth Training Academy's tax division utilizes the Tax Advisory Group LLC, which is an independent tax reduction planning and preparation firm. Wealth Training Academy's investment division utilizes Idle Hill Advisors LLC, which is an SEC-registered investment advisor firm. Certain appropriately licensed individuals are registered to offer investments through Idle Hill Advisors LLC. They are not affiliated with any entities listed herein. They also do not offer tax, legal, or insurance advice. Past performance is no indication of future results. All investment carries an inherent risk and may not be suitable for everyone. Wealth Training Academy's insurance division utilizes Insurance Made Easy LLC, which is an independent insurance firm. Certain individuals are licensed to offer insurance through Insurance Made Easy LLC. Wealth Training Academy's estate planning division utilizes Essential Estate Planning. With our attorney groups, they can help assist with various legal matters. Wealth Training Academy's business division utilizes Maximizing Value LLC, which is an independent coaching and consulting firm. The opinions expressed in this commentary are those of the author and may not necessarily reflect those held by Wealth Training Academy or any of its divisions. This is for general information only and is not intended to provide specific tax, investment, insurance, or legal advice or recommendation for any business or individual. It is suggested that you consult your financial professional, attorney, or tax advisor with regard to your individual situation. Comments concerning past performance are not intended to be forward-looking and should not be viewed as an indication of future results.